Hey yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Dollar coming back with another hit. And today we're gonna be ranking my weirdest habits that got me rich. It's a lot of things that I did in my life and I didn't know why I was doing them. I took a lot of information from who you would say are the gurus, the people that we wanna be like, the rich people in this world. But I'm overall tell y'all what worked for me and what might not have worked the best. But with that being said, let's get straight to it. The first thing we talking about is mindset. And I'm saying investing into my mindset and really pouring into my mindset with no remorse, just continuing to pouring into my growth, really making sure that as a human being, my mindset is right. Because in all of these books that I've read and throughout every rich person and financially stable person that I've met throughout my life, the one thing that they all had in common was get your mind right, bro. Make sure that you have a good mind, because the mind is the ender and also the maker of all things in life. So I have to put this at S tier, because I would say overall, before my mind was where it's at now, I was not operating how I'm operating now. I wasn't making the money that I'm making now. But yeah, I can still tell you I had a great mind. I had a different type of chip in me that had me kind of like doing things different throughout my whole life. But I'm gonna tell you that thing right there. If you put money over your mind, you would be going crazy, and that would probably be the same reason that you would stay broke forever, because you need to have the mind to even see the money. And I have other videos talking about this, but let's get to the next one. Investing, y'all. I would say investing is a thing that dramatically changed my whole course of life and my whole idea of what money was and what I could do with money. It allowed me to see that, okay, I can actually put my money to things and it can make me more money back. And I wouldn't be losing money for say, but my money would actually just be gradually growing. I might look up in 6 months and be like, wow, I put that money towards something and it did something good. So it's allowing my money to work for me instead of just me working for my money, and therefore reducing the amount of time spent to get money. And this definitely has to go to S tier as well with my mindset. This was one of the biggest things that helped me throughout my life and brought me to where I'm at now. And next, we got reading books. As a lot of y'all know, a lot of people are going to tell you guys, hey, read this book, all this stuff on these books. But to be completely honest with you guys, I read a lot of books throughout my life, and I would say I got a lot of knowledge from these books, and I'm able to really sit down and focus and just be able to read a book and appreciate it. And when there was a point in my life, I couldn't really appreciate books because I couldn't even focus on them. But I would say books overall, they didn't really change too much of things dramatically. I could say we could read 1,000 books, but at the end of the day, if you aren't doing no footwork, it's really not going to do anything for you. So don't get information and not use it. If you're going to read books, get the information from it, soak it all up and use it. Either way, we're in a day and age where information is everywhere. You can find stuff on TikTok. You can find information on Instagram, anywhere that you go. So I'm going to have to put this at B tier. Next thing is meditating. If you guys do not know by now, I meditate every day, bro. As soon as I wake up in the morning, before I even touch my phone, I get down into the lotus pose and I meditate. I sit there and I still my mind. I'll go more into depth into this in future videos and stuff like that. But this has to be one of the biggest things that I've done in my whole life. Because in a world where we constantly have to look outside of ourselves to go grab things or to make us happy, meditation taught me something that nothing else could teach me with 0 words, 0 effort. And it is just to sit and be. We're human beings. And a lot of people waste their whole life by not being at all. Every time that they sit, they're trying to go do something. Every time they sit, they can't even be mindful and do just one thing. It might even be hard for you guys just to watch this video. And it's not because of the substance from the video, but it's simply because of our minds constantly being tempted to go and do something else. It's TikTok, it's this, it's all these temptations. And so to still your mind and be able to be mindful of what you're doing gives you awareness of what you're doing. And I can say overall, that made me some of the most money throughout my life, because it taught me how to sit down and really operate with the thoughts, intentions, and what I would actually like to do. A lot of people don't move on what they would like to do. They just move. With that being said, I'm gonna have to put meditation at S tier as well. That's one of the most transformative things I've ever done. But next, we're gonna go to working out. So I work out 5 times a week. You know, even if I don't work out and go crazy, I'm gonna still go there and I'm gonna still do what I gotta do. But overall, to be honest, bro, you do not have to work out to make a lot of money. You don't have to work out to be out here and become a millionaire. There's plenty of millionaires who are lazy as shit and fat. But I would say it does something to the mind. And me personally, it's helped me a lot just to persevere and really allow myself to like push myself every single day. That's essential in this life, pushing yourself every single day, making yourself uncomfortable every single day. But you don't completely need it. So I'm going to put that as well with reading at B tier. Next, we're going to be talking about is watching what I spend my time on. So right now, if you go look at your whole day reflected upon the moment of right now, you will see you did a lot of stuff that you didn't have to do. Maybe you talked to some of your friends for 2 hours straight and you guys didn't talk about shit but BS. That stuff is the stuff that you need to look at, and sometimes you need to meditate so that you see what you're doing. But once you realize that a lot of your time is going out the window, you will start cutting down on what you let get your attention and get your time. And that's one of the biggest things I did, bro, because I knew that I was spending my time on a lot of things that I know I could have made way more money doing, spending my time on a different thing. I might be scrolling on TikTok, but instead I could be checking the charts, seeing what things are performing and how much money I could be possibly making. So it's all about taking out what is wasting your time. And a lot of things in my personal life were wasting my time. Even loved ones, even friends, even a lot of things. But you have to be dead brutally honest to yourself, because if you want to reach a point of success in your life that a lot of people don't reach, you have to take the measures that a lot of people aren't willing to take. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and have to put that in the A tier. Okay, next, hanging around friends that actually were healing and actually better for my mind. Not every friend needs to be where I'm at financially. Not every friend needs to have what I have or have the same exact mindset that I have. But one thing for certain is I'm not trauma bonding with anybody. And I could say that is a sad thing that a lot of people do in today's age. They like to trauma bond, bro. You want to sit here and talk to me about all your problems, how your life is messed up, and how you're trying to get out of the shitty position that you're in. But that was horrible when I stepped out of it and seen that I was actually doing it. So I went and got friends that actually aligned with my vision, aligned with where I'm going. And even if they didn't completely align with that, they were almost healing to talk to. I could talk to them and feel like, wow, I actually got something. I feel better than I did before I talked to them. But once you talk to somebody and you feel worse than you did before you talk to them, then people got to stay far away from. So with this, I'm going to be putting this as well in the A tier, because this was a big thing that changed my life. Okay, next, spending my last money to be able to possibly make some type of money. And this is like somebody who's having maybe a mentorship. You spend all your money and you go broke. You drop your last dimes to be able to start your business and fund your business. I would say every time I did this, I knew great things would come after it because I had no choice. Sometimes you have to put your back against the wall just to see you can't turn around. You have to go to where you've set yourself up to go. You have to do what you have to do sometimes. And I would say this is a great thing, but honestly, it's not always the smartest, as you will be kind of broke and fucked up. So I'm gonna have to put this in the C tier. If you got to do what you got to do, I'm all for it. But if you don't have to do it, shit, don't do it. And the next one I got for you guys is being obsessive over the things that I want to do and want to prioritize in my life. You know, you could love to do something, but if you're not obsessive over it, you're not going to go as far as the person that is absolutely obsessing over this certain particular thing. If it's music, even if you love it, somebody who's obsessed over it every second they want to make music, not only are they going to make it further than you, but they're going to do it effortlessly. In business, the same law applies. Somebody who's obsessed over making money, someone who's obsessed over bettering themselves, will do it with nobody being on their ass, nobody trying to push them, but they will simply just do it because they want to. They're obsessed over it. They love it. And I'm obsessed in different criteria in my life, but this is one of the biggest things that I could ever do for myself, and that brought me abundance. Because once I learned to just love the process and completely love what I'm putting my life on the line for, it started to water me back, as if I'm a plant in my assets. My businesses are plants too. I was getting watered by the plants as I water them. They're helping me and I'm helping them, simply just built off of love because I'm obsessed over what I'm doing. But with that being said, I'm gonna have to put obsession in the S tier. The next one. Okay, we all know everybody likes to get nice things. Everybody wants to be flashy. Everybody wants to pop out and show niggas. We get it. But at the end of the day, all that fly designer, all this stuff is really not that good. I would say I had that habit big in my life, and it got me to a point where I was constantly dependent on materialism to be able to feel happy. It was like, if I go get this Moncler jacket that's $1,000, then after that I'll feel good with it on and I'll feel happy that I got it. But not only will I be like, damn, this is an expensive coat. I come from poverty. I come from shit. I don't know if I want to wear this like that because I've never spent $1,000 on a coat. But as soon as I do start worrying about it, I don't really give a fuck about it. And then I want to go get something else, whether it might be a car, some clothes, some designer things, whatever it is. So this is just overly being saturated in materialistic shit. That never goes well, and I would say that's one of the habits that I had to tone down on. And even now in my life, I really don't care about clothes. I really don't care about what a lot of people care about, because I noticed that that is where they will drive themselves crazy. They'll feel like they'll need these Balenciagas to fit in. If you go to high schools in the United States right now, we have freshmen, sophomores, and even kids in middle school and elementary dying over a pair of Balenciagas. When in this world have you ever seen a group of kids that are dying about $1,000 pair of shoes? It don't matter if they're real or fake, but at the end of the day, these kids are literally feeling as if they need these things. And that's the problem, because you are a kid. If you feel like you need these expensive things, you won't be able to live without them. And then when they get stripped from you, if you aren't able to afford them, or you're trying to come up, you might try to go do some illegal shit to make some quick money, because you need to be fly. You need to get these shoes. You need to keep up. So this right here, I'm going to definitely have to put this in to the D tier, just because it's not completely bad. I mean, if you want to look well and you want to get a watch, or you want to get something that makes you look like, okay, this person has some self-respect, that is always good. Or, you know, I still love, you know, nice things, nice cars, nice houses, nice watches, but I'm not gonna fall for the stuff that a lot of these people fall for. Because even the rich guy that, you know, they say the old dude, he's a billionaire, but he drives his Camry every single day. You know, that's where the real wealth is at, because your money doesn't influence your wealth. Your wealth is within your mind. Even if God gave you the billions of dollars, millions of dollars that you wanted, you still couldn't be wealthy until you locked it in within your mind. So right now, you could technically be wealthy with whatever type of money you have now. It just might be hard and not believe. So next, we have taking accountability, bro. This is a lot of people's hardest thing that they will have to be confronted with throughout their life, because taking accountability is a bitch. But I would say once I took accountability for everything that happened to me, that's when I seen that my life started going the right projectile. You can't point fingers, bro. You can't say my dad did this to me, this is why I'm here. There's somebody who's went through worse than you. There's somebody who was in a worse position than you and made it out and doesn't say none of the shit that you say. You might blame it on your dad, but they're not blaming it on nobody. So you taking full accountability for where you're at, and you taking full accountability for where you're trying to go is the only way to go about it, because nobody's going to grab your hand. And it doesn't matter how much prayer you do, how much time you get on your knees a day and ask God to help you out. You know what I'm saying? God can't make your feet go and walk to where you got to go. So a lot of that magic and the miracles that God can do for you, he has to do through you. And with that being said, I want you guys to know, take accountability and move your feet. Do the work that you have to do on your side. And God oftentimes will show you that he's been trying to bless you this whole time. Even me, I seen that it wasn't even that I wasn't getting blessed by God, but it was that I wasn't being receptive to God's gifts. But that one I'm gonna go ahead and have to put up here S tier. And that was one of the biggest things that transformed my whole life. And then we're gonna go with saying no. Saying no, y'all. This is the last habit that I have for you guys today. But why is saying no one of the habits that got me rich? Because people will ask me, Dolo, let's go out. Dolo, you trying to smoke? Hey, Dolo, pull up on me. It's my birthday. No, no, no. I don't give a damn, bro. At the end of the day, that's what you have to have in your mindset to be able to stay focused. If I allow something to come to me and get my distraction, it might make me crash, and it might have nothing to do with me. It actually might be because I was trying to be a good person and be there with somebody who's going through a tough time, or they just want to smoke, or they just want to do some little BS. They just want to hang out. I don't have time to waste time with people. So with that being said, why would I be wasting time with you, bro? So saying no is a big thing. And I would say everybody needs to be saying no more, bro. You know, if you just a yes man, at the end of the day, your homies come around, you say yes, 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 yes. You're not a real homie, bro. Sometimes my homies come around me, I tell them no. But I'm be putting this one right here in the A tier, right here. But this is the list right here on my habits that got me rich. So I appreciate everybody who stayed tuned, watched this video to the end. You know, I'm still getting back in this YouTube stuff. I'm not really used to it, but I'm gonna continue to drop hits. I'm gonna continue to drop bangers, and I'm gonna continue to help y'all get to where y'all wanna be, where y'all trying to go.